So, oh man. So, somebody asked me, um, they asked me, why is so many people making anti-red pill videos, and they all coming after the manosphere, and they coming after the black manosphere, they coming after the manosphere. They don't do any distinctions of which person is talking to who. They just blame it on everybody else, right? So I kind of did this point about 3 or 4 years ago when I came back to YouTube. When I said single men are I forgot what I said. I said single men. I think PUAs and players. I think dating coaches and the women are working together, or something like that, right? So that video is probably outdated. So I'm doing this for I'm renewing that idea, but with a different concept, doing newer concept. So let's see. So you got to understand and go inside these people's head to know that these people, all they want to do is sacrifice you. They want to sacrifice you to make themselves feel better. I said this before about being around black people, and I forgot what he said. I said be around black people or whatever. I think being around black people, you're always gonna have to deal with roasting and doing all this other crap, and you're never gonna have peace and quiet. Um, so let's so let me break down the talking points. Some of these videos, variation of videos, and I'm gonna touch some of these points. So the funny thing about this, right? When they tell you that you don't want to be black, your boy Brian Solange was playing pro-black, even though he's Mr. Marlboro Man, right? He Mr. Marlboro Man. Uh, Mr. Marlboro Man, but he cares about black kids and all this stuff, right? Or black people with this and that. You know, your boy uh Brian Solange still has it. he still has he still has a video. I mean, a picture of his ex girlfriend and his icon. But he's out here telling everybody else that they're losers because they're passport for pussies, right? And his boy, what's that dude's name? David Carroll got caught in some mess beyond the grave, and he tried to cape for him. It's funny that when somebody goes for his favorite people, he's decided to try to break the silence, or, oh yeah, man, uh, they didn't do that. So let's hit some of these talking points. Control your kids for the next 50 years and 50 the next 50 years, 50 more years, black families. So when you hear somebody, especially black people, because I'm going down a list. When you hear black people and these idiots talking about black families and black this and, oh, I want my kids to look like me. You had 50 years. These people had 50 years of myself, my generation, and all these boys here to change the narrative on black boys. Instead, they had these boys and girls with unresponsible people And right now we have a most super dysfunctional. We are in a super dysfunctional position right now, right? So they're trying to have you sacrifice your seed to the so-called black community, so you can look, so it can, your child can look like you. And then when they screw up with your kid or your kids, they can blame you. Because the backup plan is to take your seed and pretend like they care about it, and then talk about generational wealth and blah 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 blah, and then basically fuck your kid up, do the same shit that they did the last 50 years, and then do it another 50 years. Give up your money for their generational wealth talking points so they can fuck that up. So a lot of these people have talking points about generational wealth, generational wealth, generational wealth. The reason why they talk about generational wealth is because they want other people to work for them, and they get to spend whatever they get to spend the money that you work hard for, or anybody else work hard for. So they can come in and control the wealth. And then imagine you give black people $200 billion. If every black person, and most black people, they'll spend it up in probably close to 5 years, 10 years. You think I'm lying? Okay. There was a woman, billionaire woman, so let's see. I'm trying to find it. So, okay, I found her. So we're gonna. So this is what happens when you give the wrong people money. So this woman right here spent all her money. So let's see what happened. She was a Swiss socialite. Expensive cosmetic surgery resulted in her cat-like appearance. Her high-profile divorce from billionaire art dealer. He passed away. Right? So this woman she got a divorce. I'm trying to find it. The divorce. So, this woman, this is what I'm talking about. This woman received $2.5 billion in her divorce settlement and 100 million each year for 13 years. The judge, she could not use any further to cosmetic surgery. Following her divorce, she sold her home, and in 2018 she filed bankruptcy. So this woman wasted $2.5 billion on surgery and on a lavish lifestyle. That is what you're going to give to the black community. She spent that up, and I said it, I was right. In 10 years, they will spend all that up. They will wreck every single place that they go to. Remember, it wouldn't be no limits to where they can go at. And they're going to bring the hood with them everywhere they go. Okay. Tell you that a small group of men like a certain woman to get you to date a woman and marry them. So, imagine this, right? They always say that men like big women, right? But you never hear them say that women like big men. They always say that, well, some men like women who are small. They never say that women like guys who are small down there. They never make the distinction or actually make it for men. See, women in general, most women out here, they will think just because somebody will sleep with them, that means that they are the chosen ones. That means that you should follow suit. If a guy looks better than you, if a guy that a woman sleeps with look better than you supposed to do exactly what that man does. Also, you're supposed to actually, you're not only supposed to do what this guy does, you're supposed to like her the way she is. Because that guy liked her the way she is, right? Feminism is backed by billions of dollars of companies. You can't beat it. You can only survive and do something different. So, the funny thing about this whole talking point that I heard Aber and Preach and all these other people saying is that feminism and red pill is one of the same coin. Feminism has billions and probably trillions of dollars backing them. Also, they have the laws. Also, they have an entire army called the police. The police will come and arrest your ass if a woman says that you beat her. If a man says a woman beat him, she won't get arrested. The end result of self-improvement or feminism and red pill is different because red pill has no backing from the government and billions of dollars. Ask yourself this. How much money you think red pill, MGTOW, and everything else is worth? How many people support red pill content? I'm talking about do you think red pill content creators, do we get $1 billion deals and in laws that's favor us? Do we? No. The end result of self-improvement, what do you get what do you get? Your sex life would improve and get more women. How many women you get for self-improvement? What kind of women are they? So the talking point of the self-improvement crowd, which I broke this down years ago, is that you have to ask this question about self-improvement, right? You have to have a count and a number sheet to what are you going to get out of this self-improvement other than having to do all this bullshit over and over again with a healthy body. So self-improvement is not really self-improvement. It's about making yourself overly more attractive than the women who all go over you, and you'll be able to sleep with all of them. But what kind of women are they? Is it the women that they talk about how bad they are? Or is it a different kind of woman? You have to ask these people what self-improvement is going to give you and all the self-improvement, what kind of women are you going to break into? Because remember, mind you, a lot of people do self-improvement for women. They want each woman to reject 10 men to make themselves feel good about herself. So, the whole point of these videos is to keep men in line, to keep you on the conveyor belt of being treated like shit by a bunch of women. Every woman, based off what these dudes want you to do, is supposed to say no to you. No, 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 no. That's the reason why they tell you to go outside and they tell you to keep getting rejected. Your boy, Solo TV 84 bragged about getting rejected thousands and thousands and thousands of times. So you give women power. You give women power to reject you, and you boost their ego. Most women nowadays will reject 10 men, probably reject more men, just to feel good about themselves. They have to feed their ego. This is the reason why a lot of them are not good with relationships, because they constantly have to keep feeding their ego. These women will come online and pretend they're not online. The funny thing about this is that when people tell you to go outside, they acting like they acting like people are not on their cell phones, and people don't have Twitters, Facebooks, and they're not on their phones, twiddling away on their phones and texting on their phones while they're outside, while they're in a room full of so-called people in the party and everybody's on their phone. But they tell you to go outside, right? How it works with looks and how they know who they like based off how they dress and act. So basically, the talking point of some of these anti-red pill guys is how it works with looks and how they know who they want based off how they look and how they dress. So basically, they tell you that you got to go to every corner of the earth in order to find these women. But the fact is, these women, they look a certain way, they act a certain way, and they dress a certain way for certain particular men. So it's no point of you going up to women who already made their mind up on who they like and who they don't like, because you're going to waste a whole bunch of your time. Fan clubs for certain men is non-existent. So let's go back to it. There is no group of women who just like big men. They're not online. They're not bragging about it. They're not chasing down a whole bunch of big guys. There's not a high number of women who brag about chasing men with small penises. There's not a high number of men chasing men who don't have any game. There's not a high number of women chasing educated men who graduated this and graduated that. There's not a high group of women chasing men who never went to jail, don't have any kids. There's not a high number of any of these women. But there is a whole fan club of women who are like men in jail, women who like big penises, women who like thugs and players, women who like this. So it shows you right then and there that women already showed you, especially in this environment, showed you who they like and who they don't like. So that means that it's useless if you going out trying to meet everybody and do all this, because guess what? You might not even be in that woman's fan club, for you to even take advantage of any of that. You're going to have to work extremely hard and end up exhausting yourself for absolutely nothing. Nobody tell women to change, self-improve for men, and never tell them to do better or get help. So the funny thing about these anti-red pill channels is that they never tell women to change. They never tell women to go where the good men are at. They never tell the places where the good men are at all. But it's always you have to do what the women want, but never tell these women that they have problems. They should be out of their whatever, right? They always have a problem with men doing something different. Even if it wasn't MGTOW, SYSP, and Passport Bro Incel, they will talk against it because your role is to be a slave and be used by them and make them rich off of you trying to get women. So I'm going to get that part right here. So imagine if we had a society full of women, 80% and 90% of women who had STDs, AIDS, and HIV, and men stood up and said, "Hey, I don't want to date these women with HIV and AIDS because I don't want to get it." Well, they would turn around and say, "Hey, there's medicine for it. You need to get these women. These women are lonely." They will always come up with something or go against it so they can feed you to the women. Mind you, they will put your health and your health at risk in order to appease the women. Imagine a group of men who say, "We don't spend money on women, we just spend money on ourselves." They will have a problem with that because they will try to change it and say, "Well, spending money on women makes you happier." They will make some stupid shit up like Aber and Preach try to do, I think 2 months ago. To sit back and say, "Hey, the best joy in life is to taking care of a woman and having her drain your pockets," right? They'll have a problem with a man group that says, "Hey, we just don't spend money on women." They have a problem with men who don't bother anyone. So you'll be called names because you don't talk to everybody. Because for some reason, you have to be a man that talks to every single body and try to be friends with everybody, even though these same people are not friends with everybody. I went in comment sections and I had certain back and forth and I said, "Hey, my mans, why don't you make a death contract?" And I said, "I'm going to take you, why don't you go to every social circle and see if you can make them laugh with your jokes. If you can't make these people laugh, and if you can't make every social circle laugh, then you get killed." And they say, "Well, that's stupid." No, but you're all-rounded person. You're out here telling people that they need to be all-rounded, and you put in this magical motherfucking piece of shit world where you're outside every day and you're doing this and doing that and you're talking to the whole world. And then you're lying, boosting yourself up, and you don't even have 10 best friends. You're so friendly. Your personality is so this. But how so? But they would have a problem with men just staying to themselves because they want you to participate in order for them to control the narrative about you. Men who like being fat. And mind you, it's not obese. It's just you have a little plump. So you're not unhealthy. You just don't have any kind of built muscles, but you're kind of like in shape, right? You don't have any definition, but for some reason they don't want. You're comfortable in your own body, like a body positivity movement for men. They will have a problem with that. Men who love video games and anime and don't need women, they will make fun of you for that. Imagine that you just talk about anime and video games and not women. They'll come in and tell you to go get a life or go get a woman. Remember, you're supposed to date ugly, unattractive women because that's what you're supposed to do. These women all can't be lonely, right? Men who work and save their funds for their hobbies only. Imagine that. You have a movement for men who share their ideas for hobbies that enjoy for every other man. You're not online. They'll find you and track you down in order to talk about your movement, even though you're not paying attention and saying anything about nobody and about them. They will find it because you have to interact with women in the society. You have to do what they say. The No Having Kids Club for men. They will sit back and tell some bullshit about who's going to take care of you when you get older, or who's this and this and that, even though it's not likely your kids are going to take care of you when you get older. They're going to shove you in a whole folks home or whatever. But for some reason, they keep this talking point about legacy and blah, 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 blah. But then I asked him, I said, is Michael Jordan's son better than him? No. Is Muhammad Ali's sons the next Muhammad Ali? No. Is Martin Lawrence's sons are the next Martin Lawrence? No. Is Eddie Murphy kids are the next as funny as him? No. So I'm saying, what the fuck are you talking about legacy and all this other shit when most of these kids can't even beat their father and be better than their fathers and be better than their legacy that they put before them? So it's bullshit. But they'll find some way to try to talk down to you. The men who get together and talk with each other and hang out. Mind you, these people will tell you to go outside, go outside, go outside. But the minute you go outside and you have your own group, guess what they're going to do? They're going to try to throw Rico at you. There's a reason why most of us don't go outside, and the reason why most of us don't have a leader, and most of us don't say certain things. Well, not say certain things. We don't meet up and we don't group up. They have to put this on everybody and say, well, red pill is extremist. Red pills is extremist. Red pills is this and this and that. Because they can't tangle everybody together. But imagine if we listen to these people. There's a reason why we don't have leaders. There's a reason why we don't come together in real life. Because if we come together in real life, they're going to try to pin something on all of us and try to say we're Rico. Or try to say that we're doing something dangerous and we're colluding. Because we have to integrate ourselves in society to meet their needs and spend our money in their bullshit and do this and waste our time. Because if we went together and talked to each other, they wouldn't want that because we're not interacting with them. We can't get punched in the face or we can't get talked down and get roasted in front of them. Men who get rich and plan their life for 30 years, they have problems because a man has money, but then they try to play the role. They try to play the sympathetic shit where they say, oh, but you don't have nothing to spend it on. What a man with this money, he shouldn't be doing this. But then women have money and they get to talk all their shit and then say nobody's on their level and blah, 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 blah. But then now a man has money and somehow you're bad and you don't have no game and this and this and that. They will always find some reason to talk down to you because, well, we're living in a so-called gynocentric society. We live in a feminist society where men can't do anything without participating in this bullshit and be shamed for it because you don't want to be a part of this shit. Men who don't dress good and okay with it, they will find some way to track you down and try to make fun of you. So let's go right here. Okay. What they never talk about when it comes down to why certain men don't go out in society is because these list of things. I don't like their music. I don't like their TV shows. I don't play their video games. I don't like their hobbies. I don't like their politics. I don't like how they talk to people. I don't like their movies. I don't like their animes. I don't like they're never self-aware. I don't like their takes on relationships and marriage. I don't like the way they smell. I don't like the way they dress and talk about how others dress. I don't like how they waste time and don't ask anybody around them are they having a good time, which is 11. So basically it means that they never ask the person that they tell to come outside, are you having a good time? They always think that their fun should be your fun. They always think that you should do something and you're supposed to get the max out of it. You're supposed to waste your money off their concept. And also, I don't like the food that they eat. And I don't like the places they go. They never ask these 15 things on the reason why a lot of men and a lot of so-called incels and stuff don't like them. Because we don't have anything in common. We don't have nothing in common. So you want people to try to mesh with people that they don't like. But they don't want to do things they don't want to do. They're stuck in their ways. They won't talk to certain people they don't want to talk to. They don't want to eat the food that they don't like. But you have to do what you have to do to fit in, right? Okay. Women have a certain category of things that they do for, how can I put it? for the men that they like, right? We always heard this shit about they complain about the women that they created. Okay, it's not charged up. They don't like the women that they created. So, I'm gonna give you a little analyzation. I'm gonna analyze the looks of certain women and the reason why they do it, right? So let me go to my Twitter. I mean, not my Twitter, my Instagram. Okay. So, we're gonna start. A lot of women have fake boobs and fake asses and fake hair because they're trying to look better than the men they think they're better than. So the reason why a black girl would get long hair extensions because they know they have to compete with other women out there. But they know that these men don't have access to those women. So they want to be able to have the ability to shit on other men based off their enhanced looks. There's women out here who have no teeth. There's women out here who look nasty without makeup. But they will wear makeup to get an ego boost of basically turning you down. These are the same women who talk pro-black this, pro-black that, but they're walking around with somebody else's hair and somebody else's hair color. A lot of reason why a lot of women highlight their hair because they want to seem more interesting than they are. Plus, they also pay attention. They have a hard link into what people are attracted to. So let's see. Right? So, my favorite thing is women with curly hair. Now, you won't find a lot of women with curly hair in the United States unless you go to certain areas and women who like curly hair. The reason why they do this curly hair thing is because multiple men like these women with curly hair. So 9 times out of 10, it's better for you to go overseas and get what you want from the source because these women are catering to men that like a certain look that might fit into the category you like. So I might not find the right woman with the right mindset who have curly hair. So I might have to go overseas and find it, right? They know what they're doing. A lot of them are not going to straighten their hair out because they get more attention with curly hair. In the Asian community, a lot of women wear makeup because I can tell you this from experience that a lot of Asian women look very bare and not mostly unattractive. I mean, a lot of them, not a lot, super a lot, but it depends on the chick. A lot of them without certain things in their hair, they'll look bland and boring. So you'll see a lot of Asian girls experiment with different hair colors and different hairstyles and do blonde hair and blue eyes and certain streaks in their hair because they don't want to be the bland looking Asian. They're competing with each other not because they want to go put men down. It's because they want to be better than the next girl. It's healthy competition. Also, they want to be pointed out by men who have money and men of different whatever, right? This is why I said before, people be thinking that the white dudes be getting the best looking women sometimes and sometimes not. They just get women who look good to them that's better looking than the white women that turned them down. So you'll see stuff like this. She's average, and he's okay with that. This is a guy who is with his woman, Asian woman. See, the only thing that he probably liked is the fact is that a lot of Asian girls, a lot of Asian women entirely know how to take care of their skin better than a lot of other women. They know how to take care of they know how to take care of their hair, and they know how to take care of their skin. So the eyes are pretty much a plus for some of these guys, right? They understand that a lot of Asian women know their foot in the door is them just being them being exotic from just having different eyes, slanted eyes, whatever you want to call it, different certain eyes, right? Then they play with their hair, or they take care of their skin. See, a lot of women from other races, they tend to try to magnify their best features in order to attract men. And sometimes their best features is their skin tone, and basically how they take care of their skin and how they take care of their hair. And that could be enough to impress a black dude, because black dudes are not used to having women with long hair that they can play with. And they're not used to having women that take care of their skin. And not used to having women with feminine hands and feminine feet. There's a lot of men out here who like women with nice feet and nice hands. There's a lot of men out here who like women with nice skin, and a lot of men who like most women with long hair. That's their features. Why do you think there's a lot of guys out here with average white women out here? Because the features they have is their hair and their skin and something else on their body that they like. So she attracted him with many different things. She attracted him with maybe her skin and maybe her long hair. She attracted him with the fact that she knew how to highlight her hair, color her hair, and have certain features that he couldn't find in other people. Same thing with this girl. So, a lot of the women, unfaithfully or whatever, bad intentions, they all wanted to be Kim Kardashian. Because they see that Kim Kardashian herself was successful. She knows how to get high value man. Quote unquote high value men. She's not one for not able to get any black man. Why? Because she knew exactly what black men wanted. She studied, and she knew exactly what they wanted. They wanted a woman with lips. They wanted a woman with a nice face. They wanted a woman with a nice shape. They wanted a woman with nice skin, but they also wanted a woman who didn't have all that ghetto traits and talk down to them. And guess what happened? The Venus flytrap, Kim Kardashian. This woman herself alone made a sex tape, got famous. She was smart enough not to talk down to her base of people. See, the best thing the Kardashians did, one of the things that you have to respect about the Kardashians, I never heard any of the Kardashians talk down to red pill men. I never heard them talk about anything. They stay attention to themselves. They don't destroy the illusions. They don't destroy the men's illusions in them. They don't destroy their illusions. They don't mess up that alternate reality that men's supposed to have in order to attract women, in order to go out and want to date women. A lot of these women already destroyed people's illusions. In order for men to date, they have to have an illusions, a healthy optimism illusion in order to go out on their date. and then they put it together with reality. They're supposed to want certain things in their head, and it's supposed to keep that dream alive in dating. But that's basically a lot of these women destroyed that. Instead, they opening their mouths, talking so much, and they're so arrogant they think that men will still come their way. And eventually, they do have a supermarket full of men, but but actually, these are the men that they already fed on. So they never gonna get newer men because newer men see how they treated the men that they have available, and they're not messing with that. But the Kardashians, they were able to keep this illusion and having this illusion of having this high status and family and attractiveness. And they also have the $1 billion industry pushing them to be the most attractive women out here. Now, that's one thing that people don't talk about when it comes down to men and women, is that there's a machine out here when it comes down to who people pick based off what they see on TV, what they see in movies, and what their friends tell. Basically, a lot of these women are controlled by social media, the news, and everything else in order to who they want to date and who they don't want to date. So they won't see a Steve Urkel type in the news because there's no movies of women dating Steve Urkels or Carlton Banks. So there's women who are going to have to go beyond, the women that I actually truly do respect, the women who go beyond and have this curiosity for a certain type of man. And that's how it breeds room for certain men to be able to date other races, because of the curiosity. And also, it's a, hey, that guy might not be that bad. I might want somebody who is this, and this, but I don't want this right here. This is Kim Kardashian, right? She has a machine that holds her up. She has a machine. And one thing that people don't talk about is that a lot of these women have a machine. Now, there's and I'm gonna say right here, right? I'm gonna show you real quick. The body positivity movement have made overweight, obesely women be able to sit out here and ask for men who are outside their league, right? And it becomes more of a joke now, is that there are $1 billion industries who are pushing big women for men to date. So they're pushing these women to date and make these women feel better than they should be, to be comfortable, to push these on men so these women can have ultimate freedom. Now the pushback is because the red pill and everybody in MGTOW and everybody else started asking questions about, wait, why y'all pushing these people down our throat? But then the men, why is it okay for a man to take a overweight woman as she is? And why is nobody talking about how a 400-pound woman is able to say all the things she needs and nobody says anything? But then when a 400-pound man says the same thing, he has to go to the gym, he has to do better, who he think he is. This is what these anti-red pill channels don't really talk about. They try to talk about it, but they hold kid gloves, right? So the men can't do anything and say anything they want, but the women can say they do anything they want. And mind you, the 400-pound woman is back. Have you noticed that they're trying to destroy the beauty standards when it comes down to what men should like in women? So let me show you a woman who's now a so-called model. This is the woman who is now a model. Mahogany Grinner. A model. This is what they push onto women. So we have a society that intentionally feeds the ego of these women who without this machine would be considered non-dateable. There are all types of models out here now that they're trying to get every woman to basically be able to follow in these models that they put in front of us, so these women can feel better than the men in those categories. Because a lot of women with this, she's not going to date a guy who has that. There's another model who model with a skin condition. Let me check her down. Haven't you noticed that a lot of these women with these ailments, they never go after the men who have the same ailments? You know the reason why? Because the system, or whatever you want to call it, it was pushed for these women to get out of the category of being in their level. This is why I dislike the fact that a lot of dudes tell men to date in their level, while the women are told that they can always jump a level because, well, there's a model who look just like them, and guess what? She can throw that guy under the bus. So this is the reason why a lot of guys are far behind, because men don't have this representation, a different representation that these women have. We got women like this who won't date women with won't date the same men with the same skin condition. Now let's see how many men that she dated. None of these men have a skin condition. None of these men have a skin condition like her. Now they promoted her and they push her up. She thinks she's better than somebody with a skin condition. Now, do you think that there's other models out here, male models with skin conditions? Let me try to find it right now. Now look, they're not as popular. They're not getting as much intake. Now let's see about them dating. So I don't see any of these so-called male models because they're not on Main Street, they're not in movies, and they're definitely not in walkways being pushed as hard as this woman. So what about the game? What about the swag? What about the personality? What about all this other stuff? Mind you, we're talking about people with conditions. Oh, let me show you a woman who TLC who looks like a child. So let's show you, right? A woman who looks like a child. So this woman right here is 23 years old. She has a condition that makes her look like she's 8 years old. She weighs 50 pounds. So why is she not trying to date midgets? Remember, men are told to stay in their lane, but women are not told to do the same. There's women with Asperger's. There's women with Down syndrome, and they want to date normal men. They don't want to date men with Asperger's and Down syndrome. Why can't the 400-pound woman date the 400-pound man? This is the stuff that they never talk about. So they do looks. They have looks for the men that they like. In this feminist society, they want to make sure that every undesirable woman have the ability to jump a level. Now, let me show you. Let me give you a quote. Ugly men can't up, but ugly women can fuck up. Okay, let's go. Ugly men can't fuck beautiful women, but ugly women can fuck handsome men. So, ugly women can't fuck beautiful women, but ugly women can fuck handsome men. In this society, which is called Leave No Woman Behind society. It means that every woman have the ability to cheat on a man. Do you think that I'm lying? Let's go right here. Affair. So let's continue this right now. So let's be real, right? When an ugly man dates on his level, he can never get out of that. Because society tells him that he has to do this and do that and do this 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 and do that. But an ugly woman can always find a dick or find somebody to sleep with that looks 10 times better than her. And she can be used as somebody's rotation, right? Now, that's not in every society. This is why I preferably go to a society. I suggest that you should go to a society or a group of people who don't have this mentality, right? Where the ugly women will not be touched. The undesirable women will not be touched and they will be shamed. Just like the men who are unproductive, they be shamed as well. So, ugly men would never date up and have sex with beautiful women and cheat on their wife with beautiful women unless they have money or something else. But 9 times out of 10, it would never happen. But an ugly woman will be able to sleep with a better looking man than their husband. That's the reason why it's not a good thing for a man who's so-called ugly, unattractive, to meet a woman who's so-called, she's a working woman and all this stuff. Because the fact is, she can find a guy who has a bigger dick than her husband. She can find a guy who dressed better than him. She can find a guy who looks better than him and will sleep with her. You know the reason why they tell you to date on your level, so they can make content about you and laugh at you about you dating these women, right? Let's see right here. Let's see. So this woman right here is not attractive at all by any metrics. But she has a guy who had money. He has eye earner. He listened to these piece of shit people who told him not to go with the beautiful women and don't go to the better looking women, but go to a woman who's ugly because she's gonna be loyal and she's working and she has the same money as you. And y'all both equal and blah 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 blah. Right? Then she found a guy who is better looking than her husband, has whatever swag, whatever, right? And destroys his marriage. Destroys his marriage. The funny thing about this is that the same black men who are talking shit and saying Andrew Adoka didn't do, this dude didn't do anything, she did this for him, oh no, you know, you blame your wife, you don't blame him, blah 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 blah. They wonder why the black community will never be considered or be even taken seriously with a mindset like this, where men get to sleep with people's wives and girlfriends and cross that line. And you wonder why people don't want to work together with you people, right? So, nobody ever uses a woman's virginity and celibacy against them. But they do against men, right? So men are always sacrificed as a laughing tool because he can't get a woman. He can't go pay for sex. But we never tell that to the women to go pay for sex. We never tell women who has a virgin they need to go out there and blah 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 blah. We always do that for the men, right? Remember, in every single in every single circle, it's easy to go make fun of a man because he can't get sex. Oh, you never saw boobs. You never see a woman naked. You probably can't get sex. But we never hear these things against women. Oh, nobody won't ever touch you. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. None of this. If a woman didn't have sex, she's pretty much celebrated her being celibate. She can use sex toys. She can brag about vibrators and all this other stuff. But when a man says, hey, I don't want to mess with no woman. Oh, you gay, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, you this and this and that. Something wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's go back. She is so. Now, this is a Brazilian funk dancer. Now, you already know why I put her out here. She had the curly hair. I don't like the septum. I don't like the septum. I don't like the septum, but the body, the silhouette, all that. So, and it's Brazil right here. So, then you have her. There's a reason why she looks like this and she's doing this for maximum attention, even though she has a boyfriend. I think she has a husband. I don't know. I think so. And she has a kid. But what she want to know, does she still have it? Let me tell you a secret about women who post on social media. They get off on the creepy men. They love the fact that creepy men get hard off of them. It feeds them, it feeds their ego. That's the reason why they come online. They might say they don't give a fuck about creepy men and all this other shit, but the fact is they like it. They want to get as much attention from every subsection of men they possibly can. Like her. She's a wrestler. But she is in the Asian market. In order for her to look unique, look at her, look the way she looks. Her nails are different. Her hair, she has certain streaks in her hair. She wearing certain lipstick. Her face look brighter. A lot of these chicks will play with different hair tones in order to attract certain attention. Have you ever seen women wearing red hair? And a lot of women fall back on that color in order for them to get as maximum attention as possible, but they're not that attractive. It's because the fact is they can't do it because they have. Let me tell you a secret. A lot of women play with their hair and different types of hair colors because they have no good features that men pretty much like, right? They know that they sloppy. They know they look bad. So they try to do something else that's easy. That's the reason why a lot of these black chicks will get on fake hair. Because they know the afro shit ain't really that appealing and sexy to people. Ain't sexy to men. That's the reason why they hate white women and white hate this and hate that. Is because the fact is they can't compete with them and they can't compete with her like this. She can play with her hair anytime she want and take this out and do something totally different. And then she could change her hair without putting it in at all. So, now, let me go to her. Jenna Ortega. You know the reason why she's considered attractive by a lot of men, and this is why I say a lot of men. This is the reason why I say it's better to be cut off from society and not be looking at their music and their TV shows, is because she had a TV show called Wednesday. And men like certain women that is unattainable. Guess what? She has the lure and the appeal now because she was in the show. This is what I mean, that women have the backing. Women have the backing of media. Billions and billions of dollars back these women. Nothing backs men. Nothing. The unbelievable standards that men have to the unbelievable standards and things that men have to do has never changed in the past 60, 70, 80 years. Men always have to be this big personality. Men always have to be this big guy with six-pack abs. This guy had to be funny and over a movie star personality. There was never nothing in between because we didn't have any representation. We didn't have no music. We didn't have no TV shows that have different types of men out there that promoted that different types of men are out there. So you have the women who are very unattractive that can fuck up. They can have sex with better, higher tier men than men in their tier. Then you have women who can play around with their looks based off characters they see in movies and video games. And basically, Jenna Ortega can pretty much signal to a bunch of men who are attracted to emo girls. I don't think Jenna Ortega is attractive. To me, she's, if I give 3 levels, she's a 1.5, almost 2. Near 2. And that's Hollywood standards, right? But she's quirky. She's small and she's a mystery. Everybody's favorite darling, Olivia Dunn, the 19-year-old starlet, white girl. Now she's backed because she's small, she's blonde, and she's flexible. Now, I'm more interested in what's her name? What's her name? What's her name? See, they make her look better than she looks. If you see pictures of her 2 something years ago, she didn't look like this. The internet, social media enhances these women and make them think they're better. Even if you didn't have social media, the funny thing about these piece of shit people who tell you to go outside, women still have access to social media and movies. So they still can feed off the movies of what they think a man should be or what they think a man shouldn't be or what a man should look like and what a man shouldn't look like. While you sitting out here dating women that you really shouldn't be dating, and you out here being bamboozled by these fucking people because you're not online and this and that. And then when your life get fucks up, you finally come online and find out that all the shit that you've been through and you had to deal with, you didn't have to deal with that because all you had to do was listen to a bunch of red pill channels and MGTOW channels and stuff, and you would have not been dealing with the shit. She is backed. This girl right here is backed by the media giant. Now I can tell you that is Photoshop. That's Photoshop. You know why? That's Photoshop. Is because let's see. I'll show you a real picture of her behind. Let's go right now. What the here. So it's not Photoshopped. Right? She doesn't have that much of a ass. She photoshops it. But she has the American blonde looks. She has the eyes, she has the hair, she has the smile, and she has the tiny body. Now, her friend is a little bit more attractive because she's a brunette. And she has certain eyes. And she's more exotic than Olivia Dunn. As you see, she know how to play with her eyes. But, as you say, the white boys have a better crop of women than the black guys. You see this average looking white boy. He having a time of his life because his girl is enhanced by social media. Now, as I said before, a lot of men can alternate a lot of men get off on the fact that they have a better looking woman than anybody have access to. And that's what they do in this society. They put their woman up on social media and they brag about the fact that they get to smash her and you don't. And they get to have more fun with her while you're sitting there looking at her and like, oh my God, I wish I had that woman. Now, more my type and more my speed is Sue. Oh, come on, man. I can't find it now. That's some bull crap right now. Oh, no, no, no. Let me go into the thing. See, this is a picture of her years ago. She didn't have that. She didn't have those looks and none of that because she was younger. That means she was never that attractive until she blew up. Now, let's talk about the ability men have to move up a level when they have a machine behind them. Now, you see in Michael B. Jordan, right? His ex-girlfriend came out of nowhere for I don't know what reason, and then said that he was a good guy at 19 years old or whatever, right? Trying to get brownie points. Maybe he paid her off so he don't have an image. Okay. Okay, I got her. So basically you have when he came out with when he came out and he became a popular name, a lot of women was attracted to him. Even the Hollywood women. Because the fact is, if you are backed by the media and you're backed by any man could become an attractive man overnight if they have a movie about them, if they have TV shows about them, and if they put you in the best light. So I'm gonna find the compilations of women gushing over Michael B. Jordan, and I'm gonna show you how these women act based off what the media tells them and tells them what's attractive and what's not attractive. So let's right here. Uh uh my bad. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Here we go. Let me get over here real quick. So and mind you, I'm not in Brazil and I'm definitely influencing by their creative music and everything else in their dance. Is that I vibe with it because I know myself more than anything. I can't be you can't really control me like that. To think that you're gonna be able to control me with certain music, certain TV shows. That's one of the reasons why that's one of the reasons why I'm not plugged into this society. Because I don't want them filling my head up with bullshit. I like who I like. And I have a more of a, how can I put it, complex attraction to certain things and certain women. I certain women I'm stuck on, certain women I'm not. But the anti-red pills want you to be stuck on one thing and be trapped in that. Okay, let me check the time. Let me see how much is on now. What we got? Okay, it's been an hour, so I'm about to like make sure this right here. Let me try to get here, and I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna break it down. So let's go right here. Now let's go. Let's go right here. Here we go. It's awkward because he's sitting right here. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So this is the thing right here, right? What these dating coaches don't tell you, and what these fucking game dudes don't tell you, is the fact is that when you have a machine behind you, these guys are pre-selected. A lot of men are pre-selected in society because the media helped them. Over the past 50, 60 something years, these men were backed. These men were backed and we wasn't backed. These men were backed by the media to be the men who are chosen, so they can try to control us. Guess what? The same media can turn every one of the dudes who don't get women, they can get them in stars, and you will see stuff just like this. Now watch how these women have been around Soul Celebrity, a whole bunch of men. They've been around more celebrities, but guess what? He's the hot ticket now. So now these women are ultra hot for him because he's the new guy and he's attractive and he's fitting the mold based on what media told them. Most women are controlled by a higher being, and they have a hive mindset. Miss Robbie here. Mind you, Robbie, whatever her name is, they said that, Will Smith smashed her like back when they made a movie with each other. So
I cannot imagine my life without you. I love you to pieces. I can't wait to see you guys on tour. And shout out to Donatella Versace for custom making this outfit for me. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan because he's gonna be taking it off for me tonight. I've seen Creed 6 times now just to watch Michael B. Jordan do his thing.
Of course, like she was Holly Berry was just like, hey, swordfish. I think it had a lot to do with that tanning scene. I think I watched Monsters Ball way too many times, like way more than I should. I'm pretty sure.
And mind you, remember what I say. Ugly men would never get a shot at a beautiful celebrity woman, but an ugly woman will always get a shot at a celebrity man.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, I adore him. He's amazing. I love him. Could be good. Michael B. Jordan, I think we're not going to be able to top Michael.
What's up with the Michael B. Jordan comment? Because that becomes breaking news.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, my God.
Come on, it's me.
I don't know. Well,
Are you guys good friends?
No. I think he introduced himself to me one time, I believe, at the Met Gala. But you know what? I was watching Black Panther last night. So, he was just happened to be fresh in my mind. He smells good. He needs the cologne.
Smell good?
Yeah.
And mind you, this is the so-called corny dude, right? The funny thing about these dumb motherfuckers who talk about people corny and lame is the fact is, if a system backs the right man, if the system backs a corny guy, hey, If he backs the corny guy, then the corny guy, everybody gonna be flirting and be gushing over him because, well, the big daddy government and the big daddy media told them to do that.
Smell good.
Yeah, good. Oh, thank you. I smell good. You smell good. He smells. We all smell good.
Amazing.
Oh yes. Is it?
No.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty tough. Yeah.
And
These guys right here.
charming you are, what your pimples look like. Yes, how you move them like that. Did you do that? Did you watch it again? I did.
You did?
No, I did.
So many people have crushes on. I mean, it must be flattering. I mean, there's so many girls who are just. That's just a personal question.
It's a personal question.
Yeah.
Come on, you can make it happen. You're very famous
No,
now.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he was in Black Panther, but he was the villain.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan. Yes.
No.
Do you want me to text him right now?
No.
I will. Seriously, someone get my phone. I'm going to text Michael and I'm going to tell him that he should meet you.
She shares it because she doesn't find any of his exterior attractive.
No.
She's purely attracted to him because of who he is.
You just did me dirty. So
All I did was try to fulfill a fantasy of yours.
no.
Yes, you said that Michael B. Jordan was your crush, so I reached out to him.
I've tried to slide into the DMs of Michael B. Jordan, but it didn't work.
Okay.
Now, mind you, like I said before, mind you, when I know what the fuck I'm talking about. This red pill stuff makes you kind of aware to everything. The media controls who's attractive, who's not, and one of the reasons why I can see it because I don't listen to the music. I'm not controlled by it, so they can't tell me what woman to like and what woman I don't like. I'm away from it. I like women freedom. Oh, they not in your lane. Shut the fuck up, my man. I can go over here and over there, over there and over there. But hey, let's continue.
She's the queen of these moments.
She really is,
She-
right? She really How y'all doing? Y'all want to talk?
Somebody tell Michael B. Jordan that my ovaries are ready to use Michael C. Jordan.
Now, the funny thing about this, right? The dumbest group of women that I ever seen was black women thinking that they can talk shit about a guy who has millions of options. But let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's really continue right now.
Rebecca Reinhart came to Philly from Wall Street, and it shows. She worked for a big bank that failed.
Such a nice guy, and then, I kind of feel bad because in all of the press, it's like obvious, so people are constantly asking the question, and then I'm like, Henry's going to take out a restraining order on me if I keep talking about how cute he is and like giggling in his presence. But I challenge anyone to stare in his eyes for 5 seconds and not giggle. So, yeah, it's not easy.
Kiki, do you love me? You have to sing it though. Kiki, do you love me?
I'm definitely not up to that challenge.
Yeah, but he really is the nicest guy and so humble and has so many other wonderful qualities.
And mind you, this is a society full of, if a man did these kind of things, said these kind of things to women, he'd be locked up, right? Or called creepy. I remember it was this show, it was this game show, and this woman, one of these women, these talk show host women, was flirting with one of the dudes. Was like, "You're such a handsome man." She was really into him. She like, "You're such a handsome man." Like, oh my God, I just didn't know you're such a handsome guy. And then everybody's looking like, "Oh, calm down." It's like, oh wait. After the show, I have to talk to you. I have to talk. And I'm like, you're unprofessional.
That you kind of forget.
Called you a dick, then I'd be like, I'd be wrong, because you're not a dick. You're a lovely man.
Sorry.
Series. So we also were talking about how to make sure that we bring her in early enough and have Siri have our series. So we also were talking about how to make sure.
Now, as you see, how awkward some of these girls are when it comes down to a man they like. But for some reason, men are told they socially awkward, right? Yeah, sure.
That we bring her in early enough and have Siri have our series. So we also were talking about how to make sure that we bring her in early enough and have Siri.
On the internet, sure.
I think it's fair if I just put the cards down and we all just stare at Henry for a while.
And this is the enhancement. So people need to understand what the United States did and all around the world did when it comes down to Vietnam and MK Ultra and all this other stuff. That shit is real. They do waves. I told everybody about the story about Miley Ray Cyrus and Wrecking Ball, right? I was doing laundry that day and I looked at the video and I thought this shit was so stupid. Somehow, some way, I got too overly excited, and it took me a very long time to calm down from looking at Miley Ray Cyrus, someone who I am not even attracted to. But then I knew that they were trying to get inside my head. This is why I said, hey, oops, not gonna listen to their music. Because certain music has certain wavelengths in it, and certain TV shows and shit like that. If you consume too much of this dumb media bullshit, you're going to end up liking someone that you not even thought you would ever like. I control my attractions. These people don't. That's the right reason why they end up with certain people and fuck their life up.
You're a very large man.
So, now let's go back. Okay. Let's go back. Now, Vanessa Hudgens, I had my eye on her for a very long time. She aged like fine wine, and I decided to say, oh my God, Vanessa Hudgens is my celebrity crush. But she's not the only one. I have another celebrity crush. Not her. She's cool, but not her. Whoa, wait. Her. Now, I love the fact that she know how when she does her hair with the strands, she knows that she looks her most attractive with the strands of hair. That's why she put two strands of hair in front of her all the time. Do you not think you think I'm lying? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Four. See, but she doesn't have to use that technique. This is not game. This is the fact is that a lot of women play around with their hair in order to attract certain type of guys, in order to appease a certain type of guys, because they know they're going to draw in certain dudes. Now, what I like about her, she got some very good, she got some good eyes to me. And I like her wider eyes. Everything else about her is her. Yeah, they okay. Like, is she, but her eyes is just something that I can't get over. They so big and wide, like an anime eyes. She got the cute eyes. Remember her. I remember when she first started, and I said, wow, man, she's cute. And then I'm like, okay, man, but then she sold out, and I mean, not sold out, but she went feminist. Now, I want to prove to you guys about how they try to sacrifice certain people, right? Now, you have Tiny's daughter right here, who end up sleeping with, I think, a rapper. She's the baby mom of a rapper. Now, remember when T.I. was trying to check his daughter's so-called hymen to see if she's still a virgin. She's attractive. But you ask yourself, why nobody wants to date her? She's the top of the line. Light skin, hair, skin, everything. Photogenic. She can most of her hairstyles, she can rock most of them hairstyles. And that's one thing that's important as well, too, about women, is that the fact is they can do different things with their hair. And how they take care of their hair. Let's go over here. Let's see her. All right? She is backed by, now, as you see, I don't want to talk about her, but as you see, in the 2022 version, you see how not attractive she looks. Unflattering picture indeed. She looked like an old woman walking down the street with tiny ass legs. Then she knew exactly that her flaws was. What she do? Wear a dress, stockings, and look closer to the character that she has on Wednesday. A lot of these girls know what the fuck they're doing. This is why they waste a whole bunch of money on their appearance in order for them not to ever be in a bad light. While men, we don't have that. We're supposed to go out and we're supposed to do what we do. We can't hide our flaws unless we turn into a woman. And that's the thing, right? Now let's see the Wednesday. Here she go. Right here. Now, you really think that's her behind? Or that's it's Photoshop? A lot of these celebrities like the Photoshop shit. So let's see the brothers. He got himself an Asian chick. So they've been together for 6 years. But for some reason they said passport bros don't, like, they go overseas and they don't start families. Okay, sure. These are SYSB and passport bro guys. But somehow, some way, they be missing that, right? Now, so what they actually want, what the black community want, and what they want originally. Let me break it down. Live without rules. They want to be able to do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and do and disrespect whoever they want. No stop sign society. So imagine that you could keep going and going and going and going. This is the reason why they tell you, oh, you got to keep going. Oh, you got to keep doing this. You got to go out and you got to do this. You got to keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. And when the person takes their life, they say you call you weak. Oh, you know, keep going and going and going and going. This is why these people don't stop. This is why they make video after video after video about the manosphere, video after video about Pearl, video after video about the red pill, video after video about everybody else. They want to live in this no stop sign society. Roasting nonstop. That's in the black community. Get rewards for sleeping with other people's wives and girlfriends. So pretty much, they want to be able to conquer as many women as possible, even if it hurts and breaks up families. And then they turn around and tell you to take care of the kids or take care of the woman after they finished beating her down. You can't work in that type of society without it breaking apart. You have to take care of other men's kids. You have to give your money away as long as it's a black person. So that means that they want you to give your money away because, well, for some reason they think that white people give their money. They think rich white people give their money to trailer park white people and people in the South. And they don't. And they think that Asian people give their money to poor Asians when they don't. You have to trust them to mess up your life. So basically, they want you to come around you, mess up your perfect score life without drama, and they want to mess it up. Never get peace and quiet and have drama in your life 24/7. This is what the whole point of them telling you that you have to go out and meet new people and meet people and do this and do that and do this, because the majority of people aren't worth shit. And that's the truth. If they did, they would already have certain places where you can meet these people and you wouldn't have to deal with this bullshit. No low-key people. You always have to attract attention. You always have to have the big personality. You can't just move and glide in society without no problems. Bad spending habits. You fund them. So basically, they can spend all they want and you have to fund them. Because remember, somebody has to be responsible with their money and somebody doesn't have to be responsible with their money. Take women as they are, even if they hurt 10 men and they was with, as long as they said they changed. So basically, a woman, let me check this real quick. The red light off. Okay, man. My pod. My charging station is charged up. So a woman can kill 10 guys. But as long as she said that she changed, you have to believe her. Because you have to take a woman as face value. Remember, face to face, face to face. Don't go online. Don't do a background check. Don't do anything. Now, I'll be back with part 2.